Hello, Mathieu. Nice to have you here today for the interview. So to present yourself a bit, I would say that you're one of the first and actually the creator of the Glitch Artist Collective, which is part of why I wanted to talk to you today. And also an artist, teacher. You've been working with a lot of different medium, always gravitating around Glitch artists and the different kind of formats that you could create with them. And so it's a real pleasure for me today to have you here because um, I'm gonna have questions around the GAC, of course, but also your work and to know, I guess what I'm the most curious about is like the progression or like the evolution of glitch art since you started the Glitch Artist Collective until what it is today and what's the landscape and the evolution of the landscape of that movement. I'm really interested in. So I guess
Okay.
maybe my first question would be um, when did it start it all with the Glitch Artist Collective? When did you get this idea to make the group?
Good question. I don't recall exactly, but I think because I kind of started playing around with glitch art maybe around 2011-ish. Because yeah, because I've been living in South Korea since 2007, kind of. And at that point I had like kind of a lot of free time, so I did kind of dive into some artistic stuff, like was doing a lot of photography at the time. I wanted to buy like some decent gear to take like nice photos, although who cares because the gear doesn't really matter. Um, so I started creating that in I think it was late 2000, no, maybe April to be fair, April 2012. I think if we track back in the group, we can find when it was created exactly, but I think it was around April 2012 and how it came to be. It's again, for what I remember, it's been a while already. Is that back then there was another glitch art group on Facebook simply called Glitch, but with a space between each letter. So it was like G and then space L space I. So, and most people were on in that group. So I thought like, oh, maybe I could create like just another group because there weren't many. Actually, there was just only one group about glitch art. So I thought, well, two is not too many. I mean, if there were like 50, I'll be like, okay, it's kind of enough. But there was only one, so I thought, well, I should try building a new one and maybe putting the accent on the artists themselves instead of just a bunch of people posting glitches. However, that's what happened, like people joined the group and started posting a whole bunch of glitches because that's what's the nature of Facebook, right? And also one thing I can say that, led me to create the group was that at the time, I kind of discovered glitch art through Flickr
Mhm.
because there were a couple of Flickr groups that were all about glitch photos, or well, I mean, I don't know if they were called glitch art at the time, but they were all about just glitch or glitch photography, glitch images. Maybe one was called glitch art. I can't recall. So, but I was a member of all these little groups, and they didn't have more than 100 members. It was like really, really, really small groups. It's around the same time also that there was the Chicago, I forgot the exact name, the Chicago Glitch. Uh, anyway, Chicago, let's call it Chicago Glitch event. I totally forgot the exact name of that event, but it went on for a few years, maybe 3, 4 years. Um, so yeah, I kind of participated in one of those. I can't remember if it was one of the first or not, but it was around 2011 as well. So yeah, all this stuff came together, and then I kind of created the group, and suddenly within a matter of a few months, it kind of bypassed the glitch group, the one with the space in between the letters, and that was around like 1,000 members,
Mhm.
like 800 or 1,000, and from then it just went crazy up to what we know now, almost I think like what 100,000 close to.
Yeah.
So.
Mhm. It's
So basically, that's kind of what I recall.
yeah. It's interesting that you talk about the fact that, you know, many like several groups of glitch art is not a problem because it's actually what we're trying to understand through the exhibition, through the interviews, is that there are always been a lot of different groups, a lot of different groups of people, a lot of different ways of thinking about glitch art, and so it's always been like a breath of fresh air just to know that there are other groups, other ways of thinking about the movement.
Hmm.
And yeah, I guess there is a huge kind of uh, um, connection with Chicago, of course, with
Yeah,
the option, the glitch art option at the Chicago school, and so many like
yeah.
theorists, glitch artists, and people from that place. Um, but also, like, I love the fact that I love to think about glitch art as something international.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Most of the people that I know doing glitch are from a lot of different continents, connecting on the internet. And I'm really curious also, like in your specific location in Korea, maybe you feel more connected also with Asia and Asian glitch artists. I know it's something that I feel that sometimes even the internet, maybe not in South Korea, but the internet is not the same depending on where you stand on you know on Earth. Do you feel that through the years you got connected with more and more Asian glitch artists, or is it just something you feel specifically more into different area?
Uh, as for Korea, it's kind of hard to tell because I've been trying to push my artwork even in Korea, but I kind of gave up on that a little bit simply because I don't have time or I have other side projects.
Mm.
Um, and because it's really time consuming. And also because there was COVID recently, so it's like all the art galleries were closed and everything. So,
Mhm.
but I did have like art exhibitions in Korea, like in some art galleries. But as for glitch artists that are Korean, I didn't really meet any. I mean, I kind of know one who actually interviewed me back years ago, and at the time he was a high school student. And I think now he became like way a really good artist, I think, and he's doing a lot of the 3D stuff using Blender and all this kind of techniques.
Mhm.
Um, but he said I was an inspiration, so I felt like flattered, of course. I was like, oh, nice. Um, but other than that, like not really. I mean, I think I've heard like maybe one or two artists, but they're more into music and they make some videos with glitches. Same thing with maybe in Japan, but maybe more in Japan because they're a little bit more what's the term? Um homogeneous, plus
Oh
homogene. Yeah.
yeah. I know what you
So they have a little bit more of everything, as in Korea, like people kind of tend to follow a trend.
mean.
It's like that bandwagon effect. So if something works, everyone follows. As in Japan, again, I could be wrong, but I think they do have like several things going on. You know,
Yeah.
it goes for music, goes for movies, it goes for like anything.
Mhm.
But yeah, in Korea, like I feel like glitch art is being implemented, of course, in many things, but more like TV ads, maybe nowadays music videos, K-pop, of course.
Yeah.
Um, but not so much as artwork or not as much as you would see it, let's say, in the West.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
so yeah.
understand that. It's funny that you speak about like K-pop, for example, because I guess to me, the way I perceive the evolution of glitch art through what I know the glitch artist collective, I actually I started to go to the glitch artist collective, connect with the people at in around like the 2000 and maybe 18 to 19, something like that. Um,
Okay.
and I could feel that there's been in the time I've been there, there's been a lot of kind of chapters to the glitch art movement, and I felt that it started from an underground, sometimes more even anarchist mindset, where you do things differently and you feel that you have to do it yourself. You have to work on your side. You don't. depend on like institution or something like that. There is this spirit still, but I felt that the counterculture kind of became the culture at some point. You know, when you say it's everywhere in advertisement, you can see it in pop
Yeah.
culture, you can see it in music. How did you live through this area? Like, do you feel the same? And what did it change for you as an artist?
Uh, I would say what changed is maybe how I approached the medium, uh, glitch art in itself, because back then it was kind of so hard to create a glitch. I
Mm,
mean, you would have like so few possibilities actually that were known or that were kind of a bit, I wouldn't say mainstream, but like people, for example, like one that I like to do, I still like to do that is, for example, download a movie, even though it's illegal, but download a movie, or download any video file for that matter, but stop the process at like 80% or like between 60 and 80 or 60 and 90%, and then play back. And of course, it comes out all broken.
mm,
So I work a lot with videos. So even though my images, just like my stills, I capture them from videos. I never just work on a single image that I do glitch.
mm,
Why? Because I just have like I'm lazy, you know. So if I have a video with a ton of glitches, then I can just go frame by frame and isolate the ones I actually really like and then work on them. But what I was going to say is back then to have like a single glitch was so um, it was so amazing that at the time, in my case, and I think maybe a lot of people were like that, but you wouldn't touch it. You would just, let's say, post it or share it as is. Again, in my case, maybe not everyone, but I was so proud of achieving a glitch that I would post it as is, even though it wasn't like perfectly framed or the color wouldn't were a bit off or things like that. And with time, I kind of it sounds silly nowadays, but I mean at the time I wouldn't touch it because I felt like, oh, this is a pure glitch. Like, why would I modify this? Or it felt like cheating.
mm,
But now, like people wouldn't care. Would just like, okay, it's glitch, fine, then I'll cut a piece of it or you transform it and so on. But at the time, it didn't kind of occur to me. It would just like, oh, it's a nice glitch piece. I'll keep it as is. I'm so proud I finally made it, and it took me like 100 tries or 100 videos that I glitched, and only one images came out well. So that's one thing in my work that changes. I would glitch an image and then I would tweak the colors in Photoshop, or I would kind of, let's say, cheat. Okay.
mm,
But to a certain extent, I would still keep the original um, I would say output as it is.
mm.
But that's one thing. I don't know
Yeah,
if that answer your questions,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. It does. I think because, and it's. I feel connected to the way you perceive this idea of something like a pure glitch, untouched, something like that. I think it was
yeah.
way more maybe sacralized at some time, like when people started to think about what is glitch, what is not glitch. It's one of the
Hmm.
main question, you know, you get on
There
Gag
was
and
there was a huge debate about that back
yeah.
then. I would say again, I cannot pinpoint the date. Like, was it 2012? Was it before 2015? Somewhere around there, where people would post stuff in the group. And at the time, I was kind of a bit, I don't know, I was more hardcore with like what people posted, and I had my own idea. I felt like, oh, it's my group a little bit. Now it's not my group anymore. I mean, you guys have more hands on it than I do, like ever, which is fine. I love it. But at the time, like someone would post, I don't know, an image of I don't know, a sheep with 5 legs or whatever, and say like, "Oh, natural glitch." I mean, no, it's a mutation. It's not a natural glitch, whatever you call it.
Uh-huh.
So I just kind of reinforced those barriers because I felt like everyone would post just whatever.
Mhm.
And also there was like another intrusion, I would say. Again, it's all part of the evolution of the group. Um, when what was vaporwave was a thing.
Mhm.
So everyone like this, you would have like a bunch of people posting vaporwave stuff.
Mhm.
I'm sure they still do anyway, but at the time it was like super trendy. So again, 2012, 13, 14. So yeah, he would have to say, hey, there's a vaporwave group. This is a glitch art. It's slightly different, although it's similar. It's the same kind of root. Anyway, so yeah.
I know what you mean. Also, it's always the question. I think nowadays it's more the question of where the glitch is gravitating around AI, for example, because
Yeah.
are examples of images, videos, sound made by AI that really feels like a glitch. And it comes to whether you consider that it's glitch should be something technical that's not working the right way, or maybe just a sensation or like a philosophy even. Like people consider that the glitch art definition is always kind of expanding. This is how I perceive it in the different perspective that
Yeah,
people.
like the glitch aesthetic, right?
Yeah, exactly. The glitch aesthetic and also the sensation that when technology becomes something more and more complex, some of us want to understand what's happening behind, like behind the screen or inside of scripts, inside of coding. But when it comes to AI, it can be more tricky to understand what is happening, how the data is being transformed,
Process.
like used, processed. So it's really, I've been talking with the Michael Betancourt about that, for example. And he was really strict about that for him. Like he's never seen an AI really glitching because he was explaining that when you ask something to the AI, it's just gonna answer the right way. It's just gonna do exactly what it was made up for, what it was made for, because it's made to give you an answer, give you an image, give you a video, and there is no real glitch inside of the process when it
Yeah.
comes even something glitchy or like aesthetically glitch. I think it's an interesting like definition, and it's definitely gonna move, I'm sure. But also, I feel like at some time when I started to do glitch, um, I think I went through also the purist phase in a way because I was more into like the coding, programming things. And I remember people were kind of triggered by apps, glitch apps, because
Oh
they
yeah.
were like, people are not going to understand what they're doing. They're just going to use the app and it's going to be easy, but we don't want something to be too easy. And the question is still there, I think, for plugins in After Effects or like Premiere when you do
Yeah.
this kind of stuff. But also,
It,
yeah, sorry, I cut you.
I was just gonna say it's always a way how you use it, how you present it, because of course some people would just again, which is fine, but y the way I try to approach it is try not to do what everyone else is doing, kind of. I mean, you can do it, but try to do it differently. Like for example, if you're gonna be using an app with one, I don't know, data mush, let's say, which is a common, technique that now most people know.
Mhm.
Well, don't just do data mush. Mix it up with something else. Like come up with something new. Try to come up with like some new visual, which is what I try to do most of the time because I'm no technician. I'm really terrible with like computers and stuff, and I'm on Mac, so it's a little bit more, limited or restricted for like glitches. So yeah, if I use apps, I just try to mix up like everything and put like heavy filters and see if something like completely crazy can come out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, people just like one effect and they just apply that single effect.
Mhm.
Oh, my face just froze there.
Yeah, yeah, I see
Is
that
it?
too. I don't know why, but
Oh,
still, you're frozen.
am I frozen for you?
Yeah, I see
Am
you
I?
frozen as well.
Oh my God, this is embarrassing. Okay, I hope
Maybe
you can cut it off.
you can,
Um,
if you want, you can try to shut down the video and then play
Yeah,
it again.
that's what I was gonna do. Okay. Studio. Okay.
Oh yeah, perfect.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think
Terrible.
it's an interesting topic because depending on which glitch artists I'm gonna ask, they are gonna have different set of values, in what they appreciate inside of a work, whether it's like through certain medium, but also certain techniques. And you see that sometimes people are really technical. They're really good at giving us a new tool, a new way of glitching, and it's like sensational because you know it's gonna be another way of thinking about glitch art. But sometimes when the tool is there and it's been there for a long time, data machine, for example, you will see someone that is from the new generation, let's call it like that, who's going to use it in a way that's still surprising and it's still pushing boundaries. You've never seen it like that.
Yeah.
I love to see that because otherwise, if we just consider that we need to push and do technical stuff, it's about consuming the glitch and then it's not interesting because it's consumed and then we need to consume something else. And I don't rely on that way of thinking. I think if you're a technician, you will definitely want to be, you're curious, so you want new processes. So you're going to have to kind of push boundaries technically. But if you're more into, I don't know, abstraction, for example, you can spend your whole life waiting for the right composition, waiting for the right moments, just using data machine, for example, or as you said, just playing in backward. So I think it really depends on like the values that you put inside of the glitch. And I guess it's also something that I really admire and also question a lot inside of the glitch artist collective is that the ethical part is really important for people. Like they don't want, as you said, sometimes like you have your group, you have something happening, you love it that way, and you see that there are some intrusion. I think it's the word you use, intrusion, or like kind of it's a threat to the version that you get right now. And I think it's really interesting because it's really difficult to find a universal definition of the glitch, but then you know what's not glitch, you know? So it's kind of subjective in a way. And at some point, people are just like, we shouldn't gatekeep or we shouldn't be as strict for what is glitch and what isn't glitch. And I guess my question was more about like the ethical idea behind glitch art and the glitch artist collective. Do you think, because it's still an ongoing question, do you think that the nature of the glitch artist collective to be just to share ideas, code, and be DIY and all this kind of stuff needs to be preserved in a world where everything is getting more
accessible.
Sorry?
Accessible.
Accessible, yeah, accessible, and also everything is so noisy and so getting sometimes swallowed as well by capitalism in a way. Everything needs to be sold, everything needs to be a product. Where do you see Glitch Artist Collective inside of that today?
Well, for the selling aspect, I think we were, I wouldn't say spam, but asked like a few times by random advertising agencies or whatever, like to post ads or whatever in the group, which was really tempting. We never did that. And at the time, the other people were against the other admins in the group. So I was like, okay, guys, you know better than I do. So I just let it slide. I mean, yeah, I don't mind. Anyway, who would benefit from it? Like I would cash it or we would just take the money and then make an exhibition. I don't know. But no, we just decided not to go with that. And as for the integrity of the group, like you said, like people like coming with new things, I'm totally for that. Just to some extent, because otherwise, because it's a Facebook group, right? Mainly. So it's really hard to contain at some point because you have like people suggesting friends, and then some of those friends suggest you don't know, and you have like bots spamming the group with some stuff you don't want to talk about. But then yeah, it could be an issue with Facebook itself. So that's my only concern, really. Even though I do not participate as much as I used to in the groups. That's why I cannot really maybe answer your question like properly because I'm not as involved as most of the admins. I just, pop in once in a while, say bonjour, and then I'll get out. Or
Yeah,
post like something I made in a month or so.
yeah,
So I'm not as invested as I used to.
uh,
But whatever happens, I'm just gonna go with, the other admins because like I said, they know better than I do, and they're way more technical than I am. Um, they're really good at what they're doing as well, like their artwork and everything, and their social skills are better than I am than mine. I mean, because I'm getting older and it's hard for me to follow. I mean,
yeah. It's moving so
whatever.
fast. It's moving so fast. Also,
It is, it is.
one of your specific formats that I really love is the I don't know if I don't remember the name you gave them, but it's about spam actually, like using the spam aesthetics as a
Oh
way to
yeah.
think about the internet in which we kind of evolve today. And I really love the fact that it's mixing in between sometimes glitch textures and something that I really can grasp, and also this kind of noisy. It's kind of a cloud. You see everything happening at the same level. Everything is mixed together, and it creates some kind of yeah, digital landscape of spam. I really love the fact that we can use something that is kind of noisy and something that we can't get rid of. It's not what we decided, but we can't get rid of that. So we use it as a tool of creation. We use it as our landscape. Um,
Yeah.
I really love that. And also, I wanted to know if maybe you have or you prepare a new format these days. What do you have in mind these days? Is it still about spams, or do you work on something new?
Oh, uh, I went on with that, and then I moved on to, I mean, the spam phase, let's say, I like it, but to me, it kind of looks a lot like vaporwave. And I was featured in one exhibition in the UK,
Yeah.
in London, that was vaporwave related, and I don't know, they took my work because it maybe it kind of uh, bridge the gap between glitch art and vaporwave because it was combining both. It's something I should go back to, but it's super time consuming because I have to go online and find all this spam, these little
Mm,
icons, whatever, then save them on my desktop and then incorporate them in one piece that I try to do like a big piece usually.
mm,
So it's very time consuming for that. But one thing I like to play with recently was more Google Maps.
mm.
For that,
Yeah.
it's a Google Earth.
Mhm.
But Google Earth, if you go in the Street View mode,
Mhm.
and then you just take your keyboard and you just go forward. I mean,
Yeah.
you just go. Oh my God, it's all blurred. Anyway, you just press up.
Yeah.
So kind of you go forward, but you leave your finger on the button, and then it goes forward, but at the same time it freezes. So it
Mm,
does that kind of stretching imagery.
mm, mhm,
I don't know if
mhm,
I explained well, but like going in hyperspace in Star Wars or whatever.
mhm.
So it just stretches like the street or wherever you are. And then I try to quickly, take a screenshot of that and then make art with that.
Yeah, yeah. I love that because it's in the same taste, in the same idea of, we didn't choose to have this tool this way, like made this way, or we don't have like the limitation, but we have this, and you can consider that it's a tool for creation. I do use Google Earth as well. What I see inside of Google Earth is the notion of Anthropocene. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's the idea
What's
of
the name again?
I don't know how to call it in English. It's Anthropocene. Sorry, I'm losing the word. Anthropocene. It's like this kind of era we are living in where the impact of the human activity is so you can see it everywhere, even in a natural Iceland where no man just went there, but you just see in the air that there are particles, or there will always be kind of an imprint of human activity everywhere. So the notion even of nature doesn't really match the idea of something untouched by human activity. To the point that we became the first factor to the geological and the evolution of Earth, you know? So in that era, I love to perceive Google Earth as some kind of, how would you say, like, um, it's the virtual Earth we sculpted, and it's completely human-made, and it's just like the human tool that we can use to speak about these subjects. And I feel like the connection is really just about putting yourself in the right tool, and then you look for this little space where, like you said, the in-between, like you're going forward in Google Streets, and at some point you're fascinated or like amazed by just like this time travel, and you try to
Yeah.
grasp this matter, because it's like really in between the two images that is happening, in between the two 3D models.
Yeah.
And I think what it could be a definition for glitch art, but just to look for this interstice, like these little spaces in between, when you're inside a tool, inside of something that it's made to work in on that point, this point, but in between it's just like blurry, and this is where we need to
Yeah.
kind of dive in. So I really love this idea. Um, I was thinking maybe we should switch into another call, because I see that we still have 7 minutes, so maybe we'll do
Minutes.
this a bit later. If we get cut, I'm just going to send you another invitation by email, and I'm sorry because
Okay.
it's a bit
Oh,
tricky.
no problem.
So I guess I'm just going to look at my questions again, because I have a lot of different questions that I wanted to ask you. But it's very interesting, and I love to see that as a video artist myself, I really connect with the idea that you're sharing, because it's sometimes, I don't know, I feel that just diving back in time, you can. I thought I would just confront myself to new ideas, but it's always kind of an ongoing thing. I feel like I'm really related to the roots of some pioneers and some people that have been doing glitch art for so many years now. Um, so, oh yeah, I wanted to know about, like, did you start to use AI also in your work, or is it just something that you look from afar?
Uh, in my work, I wouldn't say really. I was just playing around just for, joking around, like trying to put some silly, phrases, but I'm not I didn't pay for any services, so I do get like the vanilla version, like Bing, for example, where you cannot even like put the name of a president or whatever, it's gonna be blocked, or so you
Mm,
cannot make anything funny. Um, and I don't want to pay for one because I don't have any use for it. Although I do see things like I was kind of very intrigued by the one that creates a video, like a 3 seconds, or maybe now it's probably more, it's probably 15 seconds, short video with just a prompt. That looked like really interesting. I think someone made a film. I mean, now many people made films with that, at least short films. And since my background is cinema, that's one thing that really kind of interested me. But I kind of let the idea go, like I said, because like many artists, you always start a project, and halfway through you start another project, and then halfway through you start another. So yeah, I did release like a game app recently. I mean, it's not glitch related, but that was something I've been working on for so long, and I really wanted to, push it and release it because it cost me money.
mm,
But art-wise, I would say when I do have free time, I do create some just images,
mm,
and I do want to get back to making like ambient mu music, also mixed with some glitch ideas. That
mm,
was actually the first album that I made that was the whole point. And we talked about Google Earth just before,
mm,
Google Maps. And that was like one idea I had is that every single track on the album was the coordinate on Google Earth. So they would actually act as a video clip because I didn't want to create like a video clip for each and every track. So I
mm,
would select like a place that I like or that I found like really interesting in the world.
mm,
So the track had the coordinates. So when you listen to the track, you type in the coordinate on Google Earth and you look around that area, and that area has the soundtrack that I created for that area. So that was the whole idea of that album anyway.
That's cool.
So yeah, those are things I've been working on or trying to, push or evolve on, or I don't know.
And at the beginning of the call, I said you're a teacher. Actually, where are you teaching, and what are you teaching in Korea, maybe?
I'm teaching in it's nearby. I mean, maybe it wouldn't ring a bell for anyone, but I'm teaching in near Suwon. It's sort of, I would say, maybe like 45 minutes away from Seoul by bus. I do teach French.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
I wanted to teach, of course, I wanted to teach like something that I studied for example, like cinema or art. But these subjects are extremely hard um, to teach in South Korea if you're not native.
Okay.
So any foreigners in South Korea, you kind of, we call them the golden shackles.
Hmm.
So you're kind of stuck teaching English, and I used to teach English as well. But I was lucky enough to get the position as to teach French at the university. But for long, I've been teaching English, and I think, by the way, I may go back to teach English as well because my department is probably going to close down.
Oh, okay.
It was doomed from the start anyway, but it's been going on for several years now, but now it's probably gonna close down. But yeah, anyway, and I do teach some elective classes. Like I have other classes that are not language focused.
Mm,
So for example, I have a class on video games.
okay.
That's just,
Cool.
it's kind of something I like. So yeah,
It's
so
really
that's
cool.
what I do
And
in South Korea.
I think okay, so I think I'm gonna just switch to the other meeting,
Yeah.
otherwise it's gonna be a bit tricky. Yeah, it's very interesting to have your insights on the way you perceive your own work. And I was thinking about what you said prior to the my question about like doing a pure glitch, something untouched. Because I still rely on that questions today because you know, glitch art has expanded so well that today everyone kind of have an idea of what glitch is and glitch art in general. It's more and more common when I go to conferences with like younger people. They are like glitch like what? Glitch like video games. They have a kind of a notion of what glitch should be on.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I started to do specification on the way I present abstract glitch for my own work. I know I call them raw when it's something that is untouched, that is a raw matter. And then it's about like changing and or shifting into something more where I choose the color, where I choose like to put other elements, like you said. And I think like even the definition of glitch is always kind of expanding into something that people consider it would be even something really superficial. And one of the ideas that I have behind this exhibition of chrono glitch is that we want to show the depth of this movement. We want to show what's behind the aesthetic and what's behind the idea of glitch art in general. So I'm curious about if you ever have a really personal definition of glitch. It shouldn't be something that applies to every glitch artist, just something really personal that you consider being the definition of glitch art.
Uh,
It's a tough one.
I guess well, for glitch art itself, not glitch in general, because like you said, it could be musical glitch, it could be, I mean, audio, music, video game, could be anything. But if you just call it just for glitch art itself, I think I would say something quite basic. Just maybe it needs to be obviously made by a machine.
Mhm,
I think we kind of pretty much all agree on that.
mhm,
Um, and then there's always the, I would say, the the issue of should it be analog or digital, because we know that with Pak Namjoon, there was he would create actually analog glitches. I would put them both as glitches anyway, because I also myself work with a lot of retro gears. So yeah, as long as like a digitally or analog uh, distorted image is a glitch. It's glitch art. There you go.
Mm. And do you,
Um,
I got
yeah.
another question maybe to kind of put an orientation to this same topic. Um, do you believe, because most of the glitch artists that I've talked with, they consider this idea of human to machine conversation, like how do you respond to the machine? What do you give to the conversation? And what do you keep inside the answer you get from the process, from the machine? Do you believe that it's always going to be a human to machine conversation? Do you believe at some point there could be no human at all? And as you said, it needs to have a machine inside. It needs to have a computer or some kind of system inside
Yeah.
the conversation. Do you think it could work on some kind of uh, yeah, without any human interaction?
I mean, if somebody programs something to, again, I'm so forgetful these days. It's probably my age. Um, how do you call something that is self? Oh my
Self-sufficient?
God. Yeah, but there's a specific word for it. I just totally
Autonomous?
forgot it. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, oh my God, and I wrote it so many times when I was tagging my stuff. Anyway, let's say auto-generated, right?
Yeah.
So if you have something that is automatically generated, although it needs to have a start, like a human did input something, I guess I would say, let's say a timer, a date, a time, something, and it would tell that machine, okay, go on, produce a bunch of glitches for the next 2 days.
Mhm.
Go. Well, of course, after 2 days, you can say, yeah, but this machine is acting by itself. Yeah, but the starting point was that a human asked the machine to actually do that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Kind of like you could say, yeah, it could be the same debate with AI. Like I input the words to come up with like a meme or some stupid images that I want to create. But yeah, I guess at some point, if you try purposefully try to create a corruption, and if it by chance it works, it I would think it's glitch art. It is, even though it's AI, but like you said, it's hard to trick AI because whatever you would feed it, it would come up with something no matter what.
Mhm. Mhm.
I did try for fun. Again, maybe it's because the AI I was using is too I wouldn't say it's too well guarded, but it has like too many words that it will detect and it's wrong and it's banned or whatever. But I did try to put, for example, like what's the Zil is it Zilgo? Anyway, the glitch text app,
But
right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I forgot the name again. There are like two or three of them where you can just input anything you want and you glitch your text. So it's just text glitch app. So from there, I tried to glitch a random sentence like make a portrait of the queen and then glitch that sentence
Mhm.
and input the glitch sentence in the AI text prompt, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
would just say, "Oh no, we don't understand what you want."
Okay.
So yeah, you cannot glitch it that way. I thought it would maybe come up with some nonsense, but no, it doesn't work.
Mm.
So yeah, have
Yeah.
to try something else.
All right, all right. I have another question. You talked about Nam June Paik. Uh, do you consider him to be like the original or like maybe the first in history glitch artists in a way, or like one of the main inspiration people have? Or do you see other names? Do you see other in the chronological um,
Uh,
chronology perspective?
I mean, some people will probably dive deep into that and say, no, no, no. you have like uh, what is the oh my God, I don't know what's up tonight, but the man ascending the stairs,
Oh yeah,
not
it's Manray, right? No?
not memory.
Oh yeah, the staircase. Wait, descending.
It's silly because I do talk about that in one of my classes, and I totally forgot forgot the name of the painter.
Oh no, no, it's
Uh,
Marcel Duchamp. Yeah, of course. Yes.
it's not Marcel Duchamp.
Oh no, not this one. Nude. I got like nude descending a staircase. I don't know if it's
Okay, then who is the guy? The violin, the one with the violin.
oh
It's a violin made with oh my God. Okay, let me just pull out my lesson on so I can find any. I hate when I forget something. It's just I feel like, oh my God, I cannot leave you hanging with one specific uh okay, French artist. There you go. And it's about the French artist. Yeah, because I do have a class about I talk about like everything about France and I talk about music and all this stuff and I do talk about French artists and give me a second, I almost have it. Not Duchamp, Georges Braque. There you
Oh,
go.
okay, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's men with guitars, sorry.
Yeah,
Uh
I see.
yeah. So Georges anyway, it's all the same movement, Georges Braque, Marcel Duchamp, Man Ray.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so all these guys, sorry
Mm,
about that. Um, yeah, some people will probably bring that up to that part of history because they would, deconstruct movement. Even Picasso, would paint front and
yeah.
side at the same time, and so you'd have like these different point of views. I do get that, but to me, it's too far from glitch art. I mean, it could come to the idea of how someone distorted reality,
Mm,
yes, but glitch art, to me, it has to. You need computers. It's something else. It's the same idea, but the evolution of the same idea.
mm,
So I would bring it back to Baek Namjoon.
yeah. All right. It's a fair answer, I guess. Like usually people can also melt inspiration with like as artists, we are always trying to find links between things that are sometimes really far. So it's
Yeah,
interesting to get this vision of that because I think it's when you have this kind of mindset, it can be easy to melt everything together, but it doesn't help to understand where
yeah,
are the roots and how did it start all. Um,
yeah. It's the
another
same
case,
thing with. Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's the same thing with music. I
yeah,
watch a countless YouTube videos about like, oh, the origin of punk, and then they go back to let's say the 50s. I'm like, come on, it's not punk. I mean, I get it, but yeah. Anyway,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's the same thing with glitch art. People like bring it too far away. I mean, I see the root, but like where it materialized as
Mhm.
glitch art. I would say kind of started with Baek Namjoon and then it moved on further. Like for me, for example, like one of the first encounter with glitch art. I mean, I did know about Baek Namjoon before, but the one person that for me was like, oh wow, this is different. And maybe because that person actually did like Baek Namjoon, but digital, not analog, and that's why it was kind of a revelation. It was Takeshi Murata,
Yeah,
a Japanese American artist.
mhm.
He's not like crazy famous or anything, but what he did for me is literally groundbreaking.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially one of his videos that I saw at the time on YouTube, and it wasn't supposed to be on YouTube anyway. I was really lucky to see it. Was the Pink Dot video with the footage of Rambo, the first Rambo,
Okay.
and they would loop the footage on and on and on, and they would kind of melt together. And anyway, it was also relying on data mush a lot.
Hmm.
That was the first, and I think the video was from 2006.
Yeah,
And I did see that only around 2010, maybe. I
yeah.
wasn't aware of that artist or his stuff at all. It's just I happened to see that. I can't remember how. and it just triggered for me, oh wow, I want to do this. That's it.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of like the spark for me.
Uh, uh, it's really cool that you mentioned that because usually I ask for the glitch art definition and also the first sensation, like the first moment, event in your life where you just discover a glitch. And usually people don't really remember that. They just have, they remember that someone told them that there was a group or there was a lot of
Yeah.
people doing that, and then you get connected, you don't remember that. But it's really cool. Um, I guess my other question was if you had to make like 3 interviews of glitch artists, who would you choose for that? For this specific idea of like the chronoglitch and trying to find pieces of history inside of the glitch art movement. Who would you choose to interview?
Again, you're asking my terrible memory.
No,
Oh
you,
my
you don't
God.
have to answer that. You don't have to answer that yet. If you want to just send me a message afterwards, if you want to,
Yeah, I'll need to re-Google the names. I'm so forgetful with names.
that's cool.
But there
We
was one guy in Germany. Oh my God, how I can forget his name. Um, maybe because I spoke to him like so long ago, so I mean, I can see his face. I just can't put the name on. But if you tell me, oh, it's him, I'll be like, yes, you're right. That's the person. Uh, sorry. What- just have some issue with, okay, because I have a PowerPoint thing that was opened up and it says, oh, free up space. Uh, force quit. Okay. Um, yeah. So yeah, anyway, that person, okay, let's play this game. I'm gonna explain who that person is, and
yeah.
maybe you actually know who it is, because what he does is very unique.
Yeah.
So he does weaving patterns. He would do like a rug made like a glitch pattern rug or a
Okay.
glitch pattern a blanket or something. So it
Yeah.
would with fabric,
Okay.
but make glitch fabric. And there's not like a million people doing that. And he was one of the first person to do that. And he kind of stick to that like for so long.
Yeah.
Even back in 2000, again, 12, 13, he was doing that and it was so unique. So yeah, that person, again, he's from Germany. Kim Assendorf, I
Oh, Kim
think.
Asendorf. Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, yeah,
Unless I'm mixing him up with someone else. But Kim Astendorf is one of them. And if he's the guy with the weaving patterns that I'm thinking of, yes, that person.
yeah,
So I would definitely put him.
yeah.
Um, and probably some of the Chicago glitch folks, because they kind of put that out for they were the first wave of people to try to make it popular.
Yeah.
Of course, the Glitch Artists Collective, after me and so on, like made it even more popular. But the first kind of wave of people to lay it down there and make it a thing were the Chicago folks. At the time, there was the dean of the department, I think,
John Cates, maybe?
John Cates. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I was confused with Satram, who
Yeah,
also was one guy working there. So John Cates, a really cool guy as well, very nice, and he's always like really into that kind of work and really pushing. Even though I think he's not even a dean at the university anymore, but he's still like very well
yeah, yeah.
um, involved
Yeah, I think
with that.
he's now living in Taiwan or Hong
Yeah, he
Kong.
does live in Taiwan now,
Yeah, yeah, in
so
Taiwan.
same time zone as me.
And yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's been really helpful in for that project because I first asked him for advices on how to consider the historical perspective, how to do the exhibition, and so it's really um, I'm grateful to have this kind of personality inside of the group because I
Yeah.
always feel like it's easy to connect like we are doing today. It's easy to get a feedback on any kind of glitch art related questions. And I think it's what's still really unique and what's really precious about like the glitch artist collective is that people keep the mindset of sharing the ideas, the theories, and also the tools. And I guess this is where I put the value in the glitch art collective because it's really different in the more traditional gallery arts where I would say you really want to keep what you have when it's working, and you don't want everyone to do the same or to be able to know how it's done. So you just want to, like corporation, most of the corporation, you don't share the code, you don't put it
Yeah.
out in public. Um, do you about that? Maybe I could get a last question or um,
Oh, but by the way, because you asked me for three people.
yeah, yeah.
Is one more?
Okay, cool.
No, no, because I feel like that person actually really deserves spotlight because he's been doing the same thing for so many years again, and recently got, I wouldn't say like major recognition or anything, but he made like a book of his work, or someone made a book on his work, and I think it's getting up. His thing is really lifting up. Is Mark Klink,
Oh yeah, 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 definitely.
and also because he's kind of one of the first in my memory that would actually work the 3D aspect of glitch.
Mm, mm.
So for that alone, I think he deserves a mention. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Actually, it's already set up. Next week we have Mark King for the interview, so it's a it's a good choice, yeah, good picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's been really interesting to have this conversation. And I'm looking for last questions. Um, but yeah, it's been really interesting, and I guess like I was really curious about like your point of view on the gag because even the creation is really centered on the Glitch Artist Collective. So I guess it must be a really interesting sensation to be at the start of a project that then goes so like it's growing way like it's expanding to a new area that you maybe couldn't even imagine in the first place. Um, and yeah, I guess it's I wanted to say like thank you for doing the like creating the group and just also letting it evolve into something else because sometimes it can be difficult, I guess, to keep or let things go in a different direction or let people kind of choose what's happening inside of something creating in the first place. Um, what's your feeling about that? Like, how do you feel today with the Glitch Artist Collective being something way different, way bigger?
Um, Actually, I could say I'm really proud, but again, I think I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm really proud. I'm really proud. No, I'm really happy for the group because again, it's always the same thing, right? Like you put effort in something and you're like, oh, this is gonna work, and it doesn't work. And you do the opposite. You put zero effort in something and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do that because I like doing that, and boom, it goes viral, it goes crazy. So I would say it's kind of like this is the case of what happened. The Glitch Artist Collective, I started it just because, and again, I wanted it to be something like a bit more curated and all this stuff, but it went with the flow, and again with the admins that we had over the years, it took shape. It became something else. I wasn't always, I didn't always agree with all the stuff. I try to keep quiet, but I'm like, whatever, because also there's an age gap, generational gap with
Yeah.
some people there. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. The only thing I kind of regret in all this is not being able to meet anybody in person,
I,
uh, because I'm so far and I don't travel much anymore.
yeah.
But if there's something that's going on at one point in South Korea, I will be there because I live here. But yeah, otherwise I would have loved to go to Zagreb or like some of the other like exhibitions or events that you guys organized. That was super cool. I didn't participate in all of them. Again, just I was busy with other stuff at the university and so on. But yeah, I'm really happy about like what the group became. I'm super proud. Of course, there's some self pride in there, like, oh, I built the group. But again, I don't really bolster about it. At some point I did, but now it's kind of bigger than me. So I'm like, yeah, and you guys are taking care of it. You guys are making it evolve, not me. So I'm not gonna take the, the
Mhm.
credit for all. I'll just take the credit. Okay, I click create. Okay, that's my input here. The rest is on you guys.
Yeah, hopefully you did that. So I think it's really interesting the way you put it because the sensation that I got doing curation, doing this exhibition, and working for the Glitch Artists Collective is that it's kind of a relief to work for something that is bigger than just my own doing, and to provide environments to talk about what artists are doing, to share ideas, to get this thing going. So yeah, I guess I kind of I'm kind of done with the questions. Also, I wanted to thank you again for being here and taking the time to explain all this. And if you come with for the exhibition in terms of the curation that we're doing, we can pick the work that we believe are interesting in terms of chronological idea and also like the form, different formats. But if you have a specific idea of, the beginning of the Glitch Artist Collective, some works or some formats that you used to do at the time, and you think about them, it could be really great to share them with us so that we can discuss on the curation. If you have something popping in your mind, something that you can think of for this exhibition. So don't hesitate to share with us. And yeah, I
Okay.
guess I guess it's all I wanted to share for today. But if you have any questions, if you have any concern, you can just directly contact me or through the email.
Okay. Great. Well, same with you. Yeah, if there's anything else, send me another Zoom, and
Yeah, yeah,
hopefully my face will not freeze this time in the same position.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we keep in touch then, and so have a good day, and see you in I don't know, in another call then.
Yeah.
All right,
You too.
bye.
Have a
See
great
you.
day.
You
It's
too.
it's evening now here. So
Okay.
it's already 11 p.m., but
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank
Yeah.
you again, and see you,
Yeah.
Mathieu.
Thanks. It was a
Bye.
pleasure. Thanks.